first, let's just talk about where we are on the Mayorkas impeachment. It's being debated right now, and we've been hearing the discussions in conference. Some folks saying, oh, well, this is just maladministration. It's not actually an impeachable offense. We've heard others lay out the human trafficking, the smuggling, the obstruction, the mistrust, abuse of the public trust. So how would you characterize how that's going on within the Republican conference?
Well, I mean, you heard Al Sharpton, I mean, calling it an invasion. I don't know that I've ever heard Sharpton say anything that I agreed with. And so the fact that you have Al Sharpton saying that we're being invaded that's, I rest my case, right? And then so you look at the southern border. So let's say, Matt, you and I, we take one of your amazing listeners, and the three of us would go down to the southern border, and the three of us aid 12 people to come into this country illegally. You know what happens next? All three of our asses go to jail.
That's right.
But Mayorkas aids and abets 8 million people coming into this country, and nothing's happened. It's not only criminal or impeachable, it's criminal, and I would argue it's treasonous. We have terror cells operating in this country. We have Iranian assassins with a hit list that was testified to before Congress operating in this country. And what is this administration doing about it? Nothing. Biden keeps getting lost in the Rose Garden. I mean,
well, it's not by accident. That is, if Mayorkas were just an incompetent dude and the border were open, like that would justify the Holman rule, taking his salary to zero, constraining his authorities. But this is a highly competent individual who is executing a tragic and illegal plan against the United States. Now, the Senate had their approach to the border legislation. And like, what was so funny is there were a lot of discussions with House leadership and more senior members saying, oh, well, like, we're going to get jammed by this Senate bill. This Senate bill is going to be just so overwhelmingly popular that we'll be forced to take things we don't want on maybe Ukraine or deficit spending, but we'll just have to take these border provisions. And when the public found out, it doesn't end catch and release. It doesn't end the unrestricted abuse of parole from the Biden administration. It has this 5,000 person a day trigger, which, by the way, Joe Biden can waive at any point for 45 days. Right. It gives him all this additional emergency authority, $1.4 billion in grants to the open border NGOs. So you'll be funding the invasion too while it's happening, according to those numbers. And, you know, typically the Senate rolls us, man. I mean, I know you're in your freshman term, but I've been here so many years where Mitch will stitch together one of these omnibus bills and we're just forced to take it. And in no time, we blew this thing out of the water. What do you think contributed to that reversal of fortune?
Well, I mean, the name of your show, Firebrand, right? You know, conservatives, we stood up and said, no, hell no. We called it what it was. It was total garbage. And then the American people, I mean, when you've got Al Sharpton talking about an invasion, when you've got the mayor of Chicago or the mayor of New York saying, please close the border, I mean, I don't understand what the Senate was thinking. I mean, they totally misread the tea leaves on this one, not to mention the $60 billion for Ukraine. I mean, that's more money than we gave our Marine Corps last year. Jeez. I mean, this is absurd. You know, the Marine Corps' budget's like $53.8 billion, and we're going to give Ukraine another 60. So we're funding their military, but not our own. I mean, this is absurd. And so to all of you listening, this is why you matter. This is why your voice matters, and it's important for you to engage. And I thank you for that.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel with notifications turned on. You won't want to miss any of the breaking news.